A gutter will be fitted to the length of one side of the garage roof to collect and store rainwater as shown in the diagrams below. And additional information is given where it says the following guideline is given. To ensure that the gutter drains properly, make sure it slopes ½ inch for every 10 feet towards a downspout. Conversion table is given to you at the bottom there, and a question states that calculate how much lower in millimeter the gutter will be at the end where the downspout is. In other words, calculate D in diagram 2. Using the information given to us, you'll notice at the bottom left hand side there is a conversion table, but I want you to focus on the part that's within the red square there. It says there the 12 inches is equal to 1 foot, and below that there is 1 inch equals to 25,4 millimeters. Now if I had to take the 1 inch and multiply it by 12, then obviously it would equal to the top, which says 12 inch is equal to 1 foot. So if I multiply both sides, the 1 inch and the 25,4 by 12, then basically my answer from the 25,4 times 12 will be actually be 1 foot, equal to 1 foot. Now keeping this in mind, let's look at the answer given to us. You'll see that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Now the same idea I'm using now to convert the millimeter to equate to 1 foot. So I take 12 times 25,4, just as I explained to you at the bottom by the square, red square at the bottom, that I'm going to multiply by 12. So 12 times 25,4 millimeters will be 304,8 millimeters. Now remember that 304,8 is actually equal to 1 foot. Now we need to understand that we are familiar with the meters because in our diagram they gave us the measurements as meters. If you look at the measurement at the bottom there, it says 6 meters. On diagram 3 you'll see it says 6 meters there, and that's the side of the house where the gutter will be, so it's 6 meters. So using this meters, we'll obviously have to convert our millimeters into meters, and conversion is in another video, but converting it we arrive at 0,3048 meters. Now we can work with meters and the foot. Now looking at the yellow square, you'll see I've used meters and foot. Now we know that meters and foot is basically what we worked out now. So 0,30 is to 1 foot. Right, this is what we've actually worked out now. So using that information and using the information from the diagram, which is 6 meters, and our foot will be x, so we just need to calculate that, cross multiplying, right, using the cross multiplication method, and we arrive at the next step where eventually we get 6 divided by 0,3048. Right, that will be the leading step from the yellow square. Now once we arrive at that step there, we work out our calculations and we got 19,685 feet. Now that we've converted the 6 meter to feet, so we know how many feet we are working with in terms of that length of the gutter. So we know further information in the blue box is given to us where it tells us for every for every 10 feet, ½ an inch is what the gutter slopes by. So we look at this D part and we know that our complete length of that D area, the length of it is 19,68 feet, and we know we have to divide it by 10 to know how many times it will move down ½ an inch. So we divide that length by 10. So we know when we divide it by 10, it tells us how many times the slope will move by ½ an inch. Now we know that once we divide it by 10, we arrive at an answer, and that answer there we multiply it by half because we know this is the amount of times it will be moved ½ an inch. So this is why we times it by half. And if you want to break it down further, so when we do this multiplication here, you can do it in 2 steps or you can do it in 1 step as given in the answer here. And when we do this, we get 0,98 inches. Now we are expected to do a further step because the question initially asked us to write our answer in millimeter, not in inches. So all we need to do is convert from inches to millimeter. So in so doing, we can use the cross multiplication method, because we can see we have inches there, and we have millimeter, and then we can always cross multiply and work out for inch a millimeter. So all we have to do is, if you look at the pink box, and I've indicated in the side there, follow that cross multiplication method, and it will take you to the step that says 0.98425 times 25,4, and you arrive at 25 millimeter. I've included in this slide here alternatives to the method at which I just taught you. You can pause the video and have a look at it and decide which method best suits you in answering this question. Calculate the capacity in liters of a cylindrical water tank with a diameter of 80 centimeters and a height of 1,2 meters. And they've given you the formula in which you must use. Notice the units are not the same. We have 80 centimeters and 1,5 meters. So this is important. Whenever we are multiplying or calculating, we must use the same units. So all we need to do is substitute into the formula. Remember, pi is 3,142. We'll always use this for pi, times 40 centimeter. Now how did we get the 40 centimeter? Basically, if you look at the information given to you, it said 80 centimeter is the diameter. Now we know that the formula states pi times radius squared. Now that 40 centimeter, half of the diameter is our radius, so that's how we arrived at 40 centimeter times 1,2 meters. Now by looking at the first step, you'll notice that we have centimeter and meter. So in order for us to multiply through properly, we need to change the meters to centimeter, and that's what it's done in the second step. We have 120 centimeters. Remember, conversion is in another video. So we multiply that by 100 and we get 120 centimeter. Multiplying this through, and one of the common mistakes that learners make is the squared. They tend to forget the squared for the bracket, and even when they're bringing down the formula, they always tend to forget the squared. So make sure you square the 40 when you are multiplying through. Enter that into your calculator and you'll get centimeter cubed. Now remember that volume is always in cubed. Now what we need to do is change from centimeter cubed to liters. Now they asked us for the capacity in liters. Remember the question right at the bottom. It says calculate the capacity in liters. Now one of the things that you must know, if you look at the yellow box, in which I've added some extra working there, is 1 centimeter is equal to 1 milliliter. Now you must know this 1 centimeter cubed is equal to 1 milliliter. This is something that you must know, and examiners expect you to know. So from centimeter cubed, we can automatically convert to milliliters. So obviously my answer would be 603,264 centimeter cubed, and if I convert this, it would be 603,264 milliliters. Now I know from milliliters, I know how to change to liters. I have to divide by 1,000, and this is what I do, and then we arrive at 603,264 liters, and this is our answer for our capacity in liters.